Notre Dame, Ohio State is a monster game. Very excited for that. It's the ABC opener. So do not want to miss that, even for tennis. I'll be watching Serena on Friday, hoping that she can get through one more so I can come back on Sunday. We can keep the story going. But no, I'm hyped for this football game. It's the odds makers say the Buckeyes are going to win in a blowout, but it's who knows. And it's Notre Dame, Ohio State in the same field on a campus, which is very cool.
Yeah. So walk me through, break down your Saturday gig for me with Notre Dame at the Ohio State. And
Buckeyes, as you know, had a bad taste in their mouth the way the last season ended. I mean, the big house meltdown there has colored the entire offseason. That's been the fuel for them. They did win the Rose Bowl in a shootout. I'm screening that game right now against Utah. Fun one to watch when they prevailed despite being shorthanded. But that didn't do much to lessen the pain of losing to Michigan, and that's driven them. And they've obviously got C.J. Stroud and Smith and Jigba and Travion Henderson. They've got kind of a triplets like the vintage Cowboys have that you rarely see in college football. And I think that the defense is going to be good enough because Ohio State could flirt with 50 points per game on offense this year. And it's a serious challenge for Notre Dame's defense, which has Al Golden coming in as the new defensive coordinator. They're a pretty experienced group, but they're going to have their hands full stopping Stroud and company. And I think that Notre Dame's chance is to try to score with Ohio State if they can. Shorten the game, run the ball, but they're going to have to score points to have any chance to hang with them. Well,
and I spoke to Marcus Freeman a couple months ago. I was, talking to him about how interesting it is that his first game as a regular season head coach for Notre Dame is going to be against his alma mater in his old spot in the Horseshoe. Have you spoken to him about that? Because he didn't really want to talk much about it months ago. I wonder how he is now on the cusp of it. Chris.
Funny you should ask that, Rich. Well, he's the first guest of the podcast, season 5. So the Marcus Freeman episode happens to be up on the Fowler Who You Got on all podcast platforms. Good timing for the promo there, unintended, but I appreciate it.
All good.
We didn't speak a ton about the X's and O's. It's more about getting to know Freeman. His background's interesting. I covered him when he was an Ohio State linebacker, really, really good player, and had his career, his brief attempt at the NFL cut short by an injury, and then got into coaching. And listen, he's an unusual hire, okay? 1 year at Notre Dame as the defensive coordinator, inherits the job when Brian Kelly leaves, and the psyche is wounded, and the players demand that he be given a chance, and they hire him. And he coached in the bowl game, which was a loss to Oklahoma State. But as you said, now the real tenure begins as a head coach with the toughest possible assignment. I think he's not shying away from predicting Notre Dame will win a national championship in the coming years. He's been pretty bold. I don't recall Kelly talking about that. He stepped out there. The players are talking about it. They're not paying attention to the fact that no one's giving him a chance. But Freeman has recruited extremely well. Whether or not this is a special team, remains to be seen. But yeah, he's a kind of guy, when you hear his background, you certainly root for him. Father of 6 kids. He and his wife are raising 6 kids. Well, he's taken on the massive responsibility at 36. There'll be a lot of eyes on him. He's tried to deflect it, as you do in that situation, but eager to see, how he navigates the adversity, because they'll face adversity on Saturday night for sure.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you, Chris. You know me. I don't know who to root for or against in this game. I'm going to be very conflicted this entire time. The two teams that I would love for
are in the same camp on that one.
I mean, honestly, if there is a sinkhole that could open up and swallow both organizations, I don't know. I might obviously wonder and be concerned of their physical well-being, but other than that,
I'm going to hope that a sinkhole doesn't swallow me up and everybody else with it.
That's true. That's true. Because that is just a fascinating spot.